So I'm sitting here with Gina Murdoch from Aspen. She is the founder of the Aspen Yoga Society. So Gina, you've been leading us in our yoga every morning, the asana practice of yoga. But as we know, there's so much more to yoga, the word yoga. Can you talk a little bit about yoga beyond just the movement, the asana practice?
Thank you, Pam. I really appreciate the opportunity to be on your show. It's so wonderful to be with you here in India. So yoga is so much more than the asana. The asana is the physical postures that we all recognize, sort of like this, or you know, there's so many different ways you can contort your body. And in the West especially, I think people associate yoga with just the postures. And in my experience in yoga, that's one small little bit. And as you know, as a teacher, there's an 8-limbed path of yoga. And so the path is a lot about how you live your life. So in essence, everything becomes yoga. How you interact with people, and especially how you interact with yourself. So much for me lately, when I think about yoga, it's not a lot about the postures, even though I really enjoy the practice. I feel like this suit, the earth suit, so to say, is it's a vehicle for our consciousness. And what happens inside of our bodies, inside of our brains, is yoga just as much as the tree pose or the triangle pose. Right. And what I mean by that is really, how do you treat yourself? How do you deal with yourself? Is there balance inside of your mind and your body? And how you treat other people as well. One of my biggest inspirations has always been the idea of taking the yoga off the mat. And so we use the mat and the practice that we do in our studio with our own teachers or our own personal practice to learn skills that we can take out into the world. Like when you're in a really difficult posture and you learn how to breathe and steady your breath, when you're out in the world and you encounter a really difficult situation, maybe, you know, somebody who's being aggressive, you can really come back to those tools and utilize the calming of the breath, the centering techniques that you use on your mat to deal with the situation with grace and ease. And I think that's what we're looking for in the practice, is how can we live a more embodied life altogether. So with that, let's say Om together. Om.